Hey guys, how you doing? So my name's Eddie and I'm with Discovery Reptiles, and I wanted to show you guys one of our snakes. So this is Kabar, and Kabar is a black-headed python. Now, a lot of people have been sending us messages and emails asking for more information about these amazing animals, and so I wanted to do a video so that you guys can see exactly what we're talking about and to see how they handle. Now, Kabar is pretty much an adult. He's not going to get much bigger than this. Okay, this is a Western type black-headed python, and we got these black-headed pythons. We have a male and a female, and we got these guys from Tom Keegan Reptiles over on the east coast of Florida. Now, we absolutely love them, and you can see they handle amazingly well. They've got a great demeanor, absolutely no aggression at all. They do great. Anytime we're doing an educational program, they do phenomenal. And people always want to know more about them. They always want to ask questions and pet them and touch them. And Kabar has just beautiful colorations. You can see he's almost like a white kind of color, and it's really a creamy type of coloration, but it's so light. The female, her name's Nagini because she's got a little bit of an attitude. Now the female, her colorations are a little bit more pronounced, and what I mean by that is that her colors are not as bright as his, but you can see, real vivid lines within her kind of markings. So the female just is a really awesome animal. She's a little bit bigger, but she's just a little bit testy, and especially now, since we're getting closer to the breeding season, we're trying to rearrange their enclosures a little bit so that the female can pick up the scent of the male and the male can pick up the scent of the female. Now, these are the kind of animals, though, that I really, if you have the money for them, I recommend you get some. And the reason why is because they don't get very big. That's one. That's a really important aspect. And two, you're not going to break the bank when you feed them. Now, I know me, and I've got a lot of friends that have got bigger snakes. When you're feeding them, it's a real pain. It's expensive. You've got to get rabbits and guinea pigs. I know some people that have big African rock pythons and big retics that they feed pigs and goats to. We've got an anaconda who we feed big rabbits too, and our blood python eats a big rabbit. We've got boas that eat bigger rabbits. It's such an expense and a drain financially that it just makes it kind of hard to enjoy the animal. And not only just that, but when you've got bigger snakes, when we handle some of the bigger ones, I'm always having to be aware of, do I have someone there to help me? Am I going to be alone when I'm dealing with this animal? How am I going to handle it? You're trying to really, almost like you're sizing up the animal before you go and get it, because it's so big, it's so powerful, you just need to be careful. With blackheads, again, and there are certain types. This is the Western type blackhead. There are certain types of black-headed pythons that get bigger, especially in northern Australia, northeastern Australia. There's some that can get 9, 10, 11 feet long. I even heard a report not too long ago from a friend of mine who lives in Australia that was telling me that they have blackheads there that can get almost 12 feet long. Now these guys, though, they're not going to be these monster snakes. They're going to average out anywhere between 5 to 6 feet long. The female's about 6. Kabar right here, he's probably about 4.5. So he's 6 years old. It's not like he's some young snake, so you can see. Now, that being said, due to indeterminate growth, no other reptiles in the world ever stop growing. They always grow. But they just slow down, and it just takes, quite a while for them to get to this huge size. These Westerns, though, they're not going to be these monsters. And again, you can see, as long as you're really gentle and you're handling them well, a lot of them have a great demeanor. A lot of them have just a great disposition when it comes to being handled. They do have an extreme food response. When you feed them, they eat like crazy, and they eat really quick. If you're not careful, then yeah, you'll get tagged. Now, that being said, in Australia, where these guys are from, they don't eat big food items. You're not going to see them like our olive pythons, for example. In Australia, yeah, they'll go after things like flying foxes, and they'll go after things like kangaroo, and they'll go after things like, freshwater crocodiles, for example, which a biologist has got a picture of a big, Australian olive python eating a freshie. So, yeah, those kind of snakes, they're going to eat things that are a little bit bigger, especially in the wild. Blackheads, their main diet in the wild is going to be reptiles. That's their primary source of food. And reptiles are extremely lean when it comes to body fat. They have a lot of muscle, but not fat content. One of the big problems in owning an animal privately or in a zoological facility is when you're owning one of them, a lot of people just feed them big food items. You think the bigger the better, and that's not the case. Okay, blackheads are really prone to packing on a lot of weight really, really quickly. If you get a blackhead that becomes obese, that's not going to be an animal that's healthy. It's not going to be an animal that's going to live very long. And if you're like us, it's not going to be an animal that's going to breed. So you have a really big, fat, heavy, black-headed python, and you're thinking, oh, you're fat and healthy. That's not the case. A lot of times, if they're fat and they're obese, they're not healthy whatsoever. And that's the case with any of the animals that we have. We do the same thing with our olive pythons. Yes, we'll feed them more often, but we don't feed them these monster-sized food items. Why? Because it's not healthy for them. The only animal that we feed larger items to are the anaconda and the blood pythons. And when I say larger, I'm feeding them rabbits. I'm not talking about huge, huge animals where they look like they're going to pop, but they're big enough to where, yes, it's going to fill them. And again, these animals, if you feed them, we feed them about 2 medium rats every 5 to 7 days. Their metabolism is lightning fast. It's really, really quick. So you don't have to feed them every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like some of the bigger snakes when you feed them a big rabbit, maybe 14 days, 17 days. With these guys though, once you feed them every 5 to 7 days, when you're ready to feed them again, so are they ready to eat. I mean, it's really, really quick. But after a couple days, and you can see Kabar, he just ate a few days ago, okay, maybe about 3 days ago, it's completely gone. You can't see it anymore. It's one of those things where their body temperature and their metabolism just constantly stay elevated. And so these guys, like I said, they're just amazing snakes. We absolutely love them. I fell in love with this black-headed python species long time ago. And we got a comment not too long ago that said, someone said, hey, you guys really like Australian snakes. And absolutely, when you grow up and you're watching Steve Irwin on Animal Planet and you're excited about it and you're looking at the stuff that he's catching and the stuff that he's holding, you want to take part in that as well. And I think that's one of the things that for me, when I started this business, I wanted animals that captured my imagination the way that he handled animals and the animals that I saw growing up that I really just were amazed by. Blackheads have always been one of those species. They've always been that kind of snake for me. And again, they're just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, there's nothing about them that's ugly whatsoever. They just have immense beauty. And if you can handle them, hey, it makes it all the better. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. My email is discoveryreptiles@yahoo.com. Or you can send us a message on our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page and just type in Discovery Reptiles and you should be able to find our page. And you can message us right there or give us a call. It's 239-440-5307. If you call, please make sure you let me know. If I don't get to the phone, leave me a voicemail. If you don't leave me a voicemail, I'm not going to reply to you. I get too many phone calls throughout the day. I can't reply and call numbers that I don't know. So if that's the case, if you do give us a call, just please leave me a voicemail and I'll get back to you. But we have a lot of animals here. As you guys can see, there's cages behind everywhere. And a lot of the animals are actually outside. But if you guys have video requests and you want to see some of the other animals we have, maybe I'll do a video with the female, but like I said, she's just a little testy, so that's why I don't handle her too much. But maybe I'll do a video with her so you guys can see the kind of the contrast between the colorations. But, if you guys have any video requests or you want to see anything in particular, give me a call, let me know, or shoot me a message, let me know, so that I can get one of those videos for you guys. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and if you weren't interested in black-headed pythons before, I really hope you guys are now, because like I said, they're just really, really awesome snakes. So thank you guys, and take care.